Alright, how's everybody doing? Yeah, we're good? Thanks for coming. We're here for poetry. It's a beautiful thing. Look at all these people. All here for poetry. Talk to each other, exchange books. If you have books for sale, come make room. There's 2 spots right up here. Your book could be sitting there. Before we get started, I want to thank Flywheel. I always forget to do that. They let us do poetry here. Thanks, Flywheel. Make sure you tip Karis. She's right there. Give her money. She likes money.
And you.
Yay! Next month's reading isn't going to be on the first Sunday. It's going to be on the 8th. And that's just due to some schedule conflicting stuff. But it'll be Chris Dean and Wendy Cartwright. They're going to be our features. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, we're really lucky. We got Mr. FroggCorpse and Michael Duckwall in as our features. I think we'll start with Mr. Corpse. So FroggCorpse is a poet, vocalist, actor, and photographer from Louisville, Kentucky. Writing since 1998, FroggCorpse has had poetry and short stories published in Artifact Nouveau by the San Joaquin Delta College, Written Tales Magazine, Leo Weekly, Red Penguin Publishing, Stick Figure Poetry Quarterly, 48 Hour Books, and Deadbeat Press. Everybody, FroggCorpse.
To ponder on you. I pondered in the evening as the September sun ceases on what it would mean to be in your arms. I thought of its night, on how the stars would align, wrapping our fingers in love. Would Aphrodite cry by your striking eyes, knowing I am not hers to keep? For your beauty alone cast a stone, crafting a sinner out of me. To invoke this confession, oh goddess, I profess this. Your words, they rack me with grief. For the less that you say is the hell that I pay when it is you, all the more that I need. This virulent spell by your vulpine stare, a brown-eyed charm to my amorous dreams. If blessed with the moment, your touch, us holding, well, death would be well worth the sleep. In the face of all odds, you're the face I fall on, as a smile is in my calming sea. Do not mistake the expression as an act of obsession while I'm rowing in the waters of Leaf. I pondered in the evening as August went leaving on what it would mean to enter your heart under a late night coal over a beautiful soul diving deep into your gleaming iris. Dimension heartstring. I will never be more than I am, living in the unattainable race of happiness, chasing down the American dream in denial. I will never find out what hard work entails, nor discover its rewards earned. I will always dream with no real means to achieve it. I will gaze into the night, thinking of forests, moving through the woods of my mind, carving out a spot to hide from reality. I found love, stretched beyond a place where I cannot touch feet. I fight for a future that was never free, remembering the past while forgetting the times, seeking my once missing everything. Dementia and heartstring, plucking its tune to its resonant sound, reverberations from the wishing well, no coins to throw now, as all of the others I have are tossed. Glimmering back, shine the coins from the hole, an opus of sound bouncing off of the stones, a wish for a want, but what would I know? Screaming to the bottom, a song to the soil. I raised the white flag in truce for peace, talked to ghosts of empty dreams in an empty room with an empty pause in an empty place, just me and my thoughts. Does this feeling feel both ways? Does an echo expand in telemetry? wishing an end to live again on lonely nights where no one sits for a second chance, for a second breath, for a second life, and for a second wish to travel beyond my means. I dream to fill this world. Chaotically, my mind sometimes follows me beyond the lines of highway signs and mortal life's atrocities, speaking, not acknowledging, a past worth honoring, a blight to sorrowed times in my conscience, the following mere existence, this repetition, a value lost all to life whom failed to see worth mention. So tell me, whose truths would you consume most daily? Love unbound from the garden groves, or a hell that's still worth tasting? These shallow years, they manifest in a death of a wish most wanting. If one can't make music or live for art, then the shadow's still worth claiming. No point to the pointless pointed out in the points we're painting. Gray hues of gloom, morose, obtuse for a picture made worth hanging. I spy the color tides, changing autumn shapeshift, uncertainty that serpents sleep under red and black frosted leaves, withering willow, woeing leaf, wrestle summer sting, and further we rush into winter now, watching dying things ride along till tinted lights and the riffs of music made. I'd sell my soul for none I own to sing a song worth saying. Coat check. I thought her once beautiful beyond the scars she carved into herself. Mind on flesh, a prison of self, cutting the surface of existence, felled into gray eyes. I used to tell her, I love you. We used to be best friends, lost words, not sin, lost the things we could relate to, speaking in circles, and it didn't help that she bored me. When I love you disappeared, she bored me. When I became lesser, she bored me. When she lost that spark in her eye, she bored me. When living without her, it bored me. Boring, boring, boring. Go deeper. I never wanted your surface when I was going after your heart. Go deeper, checking on the marks to see how deep the blade goes in again. Go deeper, new cuts, another 7. Go deeper, you fucking said you stopped. Go deeper, carving away at your thoughts. Go deeper, on canvas, go deeper. You won't even speak. Go deeper, we're stuck. Go deeper, we know how this wicked road leads one way. It goes deeper. Coat, please. Silver Spectre. Whisper a tale into my ear, so may that I leap into tomorrow calmed by its sleep that your story brings, ferried on currents, harrowed by loss, beyond stardust cuppings, lacking contritions, wanting their movement could not allay, putting this mind at ease so that it may find peace in the broken pieces of me on the quay. Down Brega Road, a Palladian soul. Oh, you silver bitch of haunting. I would rather eat dirt face down in the earth than to hear those nightly pinings. This heart has dried with you inside, slated for the grim. From the forlorn flit that the spiritist laments passing along the beaches. Their limbic holds skipping stones as a spectral ride convenes by the bond of eldritch atop forest carriage, soiling the knowledge of Oxbridge, where the sobbing stains a demerge of pain plummets into rest on cleavage, heard ghastly cries skipping skies, rooting trestles raised in umbrage. All right. This one's called Bathed in the Crimson Rye. This one's new. New shit. He who walks behind the rows, defiling earth by plow, swathing sheafs of errant flight by the teeth of the gaping maw, thudding along the croft and the trampling of the crowd, stripped of belief beyond split straw streets bathed in the crimson rye, treading where Thanatos swaths, swiping on Pluto's breath, each press Persephone taunts when stamping on a chirping chest, eyes a glaive-cutting ivory power, smiting winter words from seams, a white noise panzer crosses a killing cold, grunting bones of the elderly. These errors of pain brought peace to the pen, and the funeral hours where none of it surfaced. A spruce and the wreath wrapped the very few yearning, moving snow to flee in the scatter of mourning. And sadness keeps me awake for endless hours, and loneliness keeps me company. And all of my days have gone in circles, no advancement in reality. And when those inches turn to feet, and those feet then run the yard, the more distance that I place from thyself adds to my problem solved. All eyes on Archer. This is written in Chicago. An echoing roar sounds scraping the windows of the Majestic. Red letters rattle from the Berghoff, signaling fire beyond West Monroe, reaching the rails at Adams and Wabash. Just across town, old Leroy kicks a can, beating on the back door of Daly's, jiggling the handle for dry biscuits, then disappearing under the L, shuffling a cane in the February cold. The green line screeches. Rush struts strip the yellow tower over four-door horses, shaking boarded windows lining Cottage Grove. East 63rd falls silent in the snow. A few blocks over, a mural reads, "Stop the violence!" It's graffiti sprayed as fast as bullets. I don't think the city ever got the memo. Hitching for a hand, looking for a post-mortem dance, chasing ghosts on Archer, attempting to reach the haunted. What would the O. Henry play? Dropping off a date behind Resurrection's gate, the hearse held to in its late-night move under a moonlit lover's lane. Could two spirits find connection, stranded in the Irish legend, or would they be dragged out in the roadhouse tunnels beneath them, searching in an era dead, rolling to a waltz without a pulse, relinquished in the cinders of ballroom spooks and the tales descended from the Willowbrook. I'm gonna do these two and then fuck off, if that's okay. Or do I have time? I have no clue. Alright. I'm like, yeah, fuck off, fucking with the dogs. Alright. Alright. Nothing but you. I close my eyes, smelling the silence you left behind. Hanged by Flora. Today's memory, wishing to feel your body next to mine. A dream to have dreamed ever a dream at all. Emaciated from your words, masticated in my pulse, a futile flame glinting with dim leering, hunger cinder, a cider to swallow, sickening stomach, mulling the scent of old home, outstretched in the winter where you went away, creating holes, leaving burrows gray. Its dark sky comes stretching, unfurled the sobbing, the heartbreak, the needing, my pleading, then nothing, the movement of words negates into something, but it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. The tossing, the turning, huffing so lonely, thinking of you in the pines of our morning, late in the hours, a day so controlling, the pushing, the pulling, knowing you're never coming. Aconite rising in the Magellan Garden. Before my pen has gleamed, I push my ink to form from thought, whistling in a tiny wood, peeled behind the flocks, A row of dandelions comet tailing toward the sky, yet with the movement in this wind is an image that moves with time. Lonely roots which bore, bursting petals never renewing dawn, their sinewed irises melt in rain to the dreams clearly fading on. I once held a fondness tender by the shine of those eyes I dreamed, unknowing bitterness tasted in recollection, abiding image on Damascena green. Below as above, above as below, my hell at its best is its leveled core. Eurythmic skips where the heart once lived, O core of my nicks. Nevermore this, dying while dear minutes stroll. A dirge to my vow implored, scattered were these scratchings, pecking at the thoughts of yore, the blackened window pane. And last spring by it your picture stains, in a summer dried in the drought felt drain. It is an autumn where life hangs, failed by a note, one winter where the pine sand shape, a death message brought with breeze. With silence it is to suffer, no words could relay, a devil in the bush to a god by a tree, with a photo in thought along wildflower seas, stone pressed into dust. An emotional lycanthrope turned misanthrope by misanthrope, tugging cord I am missing rope. Slowly stretched in circular sway, an overhead view of the belfry grave. Oh, those trilling rings. Thank you.
Everybody, one more time. That was FroggCorpse. Yeah. Make sure to talk with him afterward. See what he's up to. He's doing a cool thing down in New Orleans pretty soon. He'd love to talk to you about called Gonzo Fest. But next up, we got Michael E. Duckwall. He was born and raised in the Ohio Valley, a featured poet at the 10th and final Gonzo Fest in Louisville. Michael's poetry, artwork, and photography have been in a handful of magazines and anthologies, along with numerous online features. He has a couple of chapbooks in publication and one limited edition co-authored chapbook you may have missed out on. Y'all gotta stay up on it. Michael Duckwall, y'all.
Thank you, Drew. This is the hesitation. I need white noise to drown out the chaos. I went to the doctor the other day, and after the blood pressure check, after the temperature check, the nurse said, "It's been more than a year since your last visit." She asked questions, and I answered with lies. She asked, "Are you depressed? Do you have suicidal thoughts?" I said with a slight pause, "Nah, I'm good." Now either she didn't notice the few seconds of thought, the ones where I was debating on whether to tell the truth or not, either that, or she just didn't care. My last visit a year ago, I found out the hard way. They truly don't care. Just take my pills, pay my bills, and fall into place. I do what I'm told. I don't ask any questions. That's the bullshit of my daily life, and I need white noise to drown out this chaos. There's always chaos. Screaming, cursing, crying inside my mind, and pills, they don't help. I still hear the chaos. So rather than going numb to it all, I drown it out with white noise. And when asked, "Are you okay?" I lie and hesitantly say, "Yeah, I'm good." No one ever seems to notice my long pause, my slow response. I need white noise to drown out the chaos. Thank you. Enduring. I go to bed alone and I wake up the same. I could be lying right next to you and somehow I'd still feel all alone. Maybe it's how you roll the other way when I reach out to touch you. That could just be a nightmare. They do feel real sometimes. Maybe it's how you interrupt whenever I'm talking about my dreams. I could have been silently speaking inside my own head. Maybe me feeling alone, even with you by my side in our bed, is the reason I get these nightmares. And maybe my dreams aren't interesting enough to hold attention, and not even my own. I reach out, and you roll away. Am I asleep? Am I awake? With or without you, I'm always alone in my mind beneath this blanket of a sky. And maybe you should save yourself unless the loneliness has already taken hold. Tell me your dreams. I won't interrupt. Sometimes mine aren't being alone, and other times it's just me lying next to you as I endure this nightmare, one waking moment at a time. Them voices. I tried talking to myself, and they say 10 different voices in one head means schizophrenia, or however you spell it. The voices say my spelling is fine. You can fuck off if you think otherwise. Them voices, they're something. At least they make me smile sometimes. This life, it's beating me down to the point of thoughts that we just don't talk about. Do you think them too? A question that's forbidden. How many of us just want to leave? Exit, stage door left. Get the straight fuck out of this chaos, this life. I tried talking to myself. I wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. We never listened. Thank you. This one's strung out. I gotta get my fix. Earn some money so I can pay my rent. Find a job that's legit, cause I got bills to pay. No more hustling in the streets, no more slinging dope. No more good kush stink, trading time for smoke. I got bills to pay. I got a drug test to take. You know what I mean? I need that 401k. I gotta take care of me. I gotta try to be the American dream. I got bills to pay. I gotta get my fix before the bottom drops out of all of this. Before this paper money ain't worth shit. You know, it scratches my ass when I wipe with it. I got bills to pay. That's why I sacrifice my dreams for the almighty dollar. Can you hear me holler? I got bills to pay. Because in America, none of us are free. We're all slaves to the grind. We're slaves to the greed. I got bills to pay. I gotta find a job real quick with insurance, vacation, all that good shit. I got bills to pay. The landlord, he keeps banging on my door. He wants his rent, but all of my money is already spent. God almighty, I got bills to pay. I gotta find a job that's legit so I can get my fix. Cause I'm jonesing for those dirty dollar banknotes. They ain't real money. They're a fucking joke. We all got bills to pay. Living day by day, strung out in the US of A. Thank you. One by one, this one's a true story. I used to think the safest place to be was in a graveyard. I jokingly say, there's nothing to be afraid of, everyone's dead. Back when I had an old black Chevy van but no house to call home, I'd park in graveyards to sleep at night. Awaken to frosted windows in a cold bed, still dark, almost twilight. Early morning piss. Watch my breath float on the air, a shiver, a chill. I woke up this morning feeling the same way, just living this life that we all live today. The safest place to be is right here in the now. There's nothing to be afraid of. We're all dying one by one. Our graves out there waiting for us to come home. I used to jokingly say, everyone's dead. Nowadays, it's more of a serious conversation. Peeling away. I've known my whole life something was wrong. Not per se wrong, just different. Now it's time I peeled the mask away, not caring what others think, what others say. I've let judgment hold me down for far too long. It's time to embrace my thoughts, as strange as I am. It's time to stop wearing this mask to please others. I've always known, I just never let it show. Here, take a peek. See my face, these scars, this past I wear. Parts of me the mask was covering. Me, can I be? Judgment. I could lose it all, yet this life is finite. I only have myself, this body for so long, and my soul needs to see truth in the mirror. Not a mask, no more. I've known my whole life this day would come. The reward outweighs the risk. But with my mask removed, will you still love me like this? Different from the rest? I only hope that you see truth in the mirror. If not, let's risk it all together. All for naught. We fooled ourselves into believing nature could be tamed. It's all for naught. A dandelion grows in cracked concrete. We fooled ourselves into acting wide awake while we're all fast asleep. Midnight strikes early in the morning. Nightmares sometimes become dreams. One summer when I was young, we returned home from a camping trip. Our dog had given birth while we were gone. With the hot, humid Ohio Valley heat and the lack of care, these puppies not getting properly cleaned in the few days before we made it back home, maggots had started to eat these puppies' eyes. It was such a sad sight. My heart broke as I held them one at a time beneath the surface, a cold bucket of water. I was told drowning is a peaceful way to die, and these pups had already suffered enough. Midnight strikes early in the morning. We fool ourselves into thinking otherwise. Slowly, peacefully, I cried as I watched the bubbles rise and then stop. Dreams turn into nightmares. Those puppies sometimes still haunt mine. We fooled ourselves into believing some deaths are more peaceful than the next. Yet when the clock strikes midnight, we all fight for that last breath. I was just about 10 when I drowned those puppies early that evening. We barely saved their mama. If I remember correctly, she got ran over by a car not too long afterwards, and I fooled myself into believing she didn't run out into the road on purpose. I got two more. Bloody footprints. I honestly just can't. There are no words to describe this feeling. I'm being honest here with my guts on the floor, tangled up in your shoelaces. As you leave bloody footprints all over me, I honestly can't find the words to say how all of this life has me knotted up inside. Still you stomp, demanding I find them, find the words that just aren't there. Walking around as if you own the place. White shoes now unlaced, red bloody footprints all over me, while I tie a noose with guts and string, looking for words I know I'll never find, and a chair to kick out from beneath myself. Against the tides. Try to end on a little bit of a positive note. Look for people swimming against the tides, the ones who swim out in the undertow to save another, the ones who risk it all to lift up family and friends, the ones who will help out a stranger when they have nothing to gain, people who live for change, thriving in the dark, cold light of a full moon. The night's crazy runs wild and the currents pull at our souls. When we swim into the undertow and risk it all to save anyone reaching out their hand when they are drowning. Look for people who see a need and feel it, asking for nothing but acceptance, just to be accepted for living their life. Look for these people. Look in the mirror and hope to see one looking back. These are my people, those who swim against the tides. I can only hope to see one in the mirror, living a life that pulls me under every chance it gets, making me remember, making me forget the best, the worst. And as I'm sinking towards the ocean floor, I think of love. In this moment, I reach out my hand. I'm going under, hoping someone sees me. People who are swimming against the tides into the undertow, my people. More often than not, I sink into the dark. I'm reaching out. I love you. Thank you.
Man, we got drinks flying all over the place. It's getting wild up here. Here, Michael Duckwall, everybody, put your hands together. So Michael's got some books over here. John's got some books over here. I got some books over here. We're going to take about a 10, 15-minute break. Introduce yourself to someone you don't know. We're all here for poetry. There's a sign-up sheet over here by my good buddy James Tucker. Sign your name up if you want to share some poems. So, all right.